Well, hi everybody. And Cindy, thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of the welcome to the Fellowship Baptist Church ladies and their fall retreat. You guys are going to have so much fun. As a matter of fact, Cindy sent me over some notes. It looks like you guys are going to be doing some crafts, weaving things. That'll be fun. I guess maybe baskets or something. And maybe some math. I'm not real sure about that. It's one and one. So you guys will be doing a little bit of math. And you know what? Oh, now I see. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. I didn't read further on the notes that Cindy gave me. Plus, she doesn't write so good. So it was a little hard to read. Woven as one, by one, for one. And out of Ephesians 4. So it is going to be biblical. That's good. Even though crafts are fun too sometimes. So, well, I look a little different than I did last year. And Cindy invited me to just explain a little bit about it. If you remember any of my testimony from last year, you know that I was 10 years beyond my cancer healing. I had CNS lymphoma now 11 years ago. And so everybody, all my oncologists, all my team of doctors, they said, you're done. You don't have cancer. And well, I started feeling some pain in the end of 2024. And it felt similar to the pain that I had when they first diagnosed CNS lymphoma. And so I went back to my oncologist and he said, no, there's no way. I mean, you're nearly 11 years beyond that. There's no way it's going to come back. Let's do physical therapy and let's do chiropractic and we just did all kinds of stuff. And my pain got worse, got so bad that I couldn't sleep at night. Many times I was crying at night. I don't know if you guys have had chronic pain. Any of you have had such bad pain that you are absolutely so distracted and you can't pray. And now that sounds crazy, but you would think, and I really thought to myself, I'm going to pray through this pain. And I could barely do it. I just cried. And so the pain was worse at night. It would kind of ease up during the day, but I got to where I wasn't able to walk. And finally, out of desperation, we went back to UT Southwest and went to the emergency room. They did another MRI, and this time the tumor was found fairly close to the tumor that was 11 years ago. This time just a little bit higher and in the nerve sheath right next to my spine. And I was relieved because finally we found something wrong, and then immediately realizing once again I had stage 4 CNS lymphoma. So since July 5th, I have been, I've done 4 chemo treatments already, where I go in the hospital, stay 2 weeks, get the chemo, and then I get to go home 2 weeks, then back for another 2 weeks. So it is, it's pretty intense. And now they did another MRI, and the good news is that tumor, if they didn't know where it was, they wouldn't be able to find it. They know it's teeny tiny. It's just almost gone. My oncologist said, we're just going to say it's gone. And so the next step is stem cell transplant and high dose chemotherapy, so that if there's any chemo cell just wandering around somewhere in my bloodstream, they will get it. Which is why probably I had a relapse of it, because there was one little chemo cell just hiding, being sneaky. And so I, again, after 11 years, have a CNS lymphoma. I was not looking forward to this season of life. I had a different plan for this season of life. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about seasons and how they can really affect you. Now that it's October, that's a change in season, usually requires a change in our clothing. And, not only is it a good idea to shave your legs when you see the hair poking through your leggings, but it's always important to check your attitude when you see a change in season coming. And speaking of shaving, my hair hasn't really fallen out, but in the next high-dose chemo that I'm going to be doing, they said that my hair will definitely fall out. So I had my hair girl give me this little pixie, so when it falls out, I just don't have hair all over the place. And yeah, I do feel I surprise myself every time I look in the mirror because I forget that I don't have hair. And honestly, the two of the youngest grandchildren and girls in our family, I'm not sure what they really think about it. Phil keeps a picture of me on his cell phone, as a screensaver, and it's with hair, and they like that picture, and they say, don't put grandma's bald head on there. But the other day, they're used to it now, but I've had it for a couple of weeks. So the other day, we were driving the grandgirls to school, and it came time to get Britton out of the car. So she sits directly behind me. And so I looked in the mirror and I said, okay, Britton, have fun at daycare. And I hear her say, okay, have fun being bald. She was trying to think of something that she could say that I could have fun being, and evidently she thinks I shaved my head because I just think it was fun. And she wanted to say to me, have fun being bald. And I thought about that. I think that can be a rally cry when we are going through a difficult season of life. Because there are some things that we can do when we cannot help it when we go through a difficult season of life. It's not fun. We want to resist it. And I can't even imagine somebody saying to me, have fun having cancer. But basically, Britton is reminding me, have fun in all things, because God is still in control. Now, there are a lot of reasons why we go through different seasons of life. Sometimes it does have to do with sin, and it has to do with consequences of our sin. Sometimes it just has to do with life. And I don't believe that God said, I'm giving Melody cancer. I don't believe God said, I'm giving your mother cancer or your sister cancer. It's just one of the facts of life that cancer's in this world, and we are going to deal with it. So I could sit back and complain. You could sit back and complain. But when we recognize that God is still in control, no matter what, it helps us have fun being bald. So I wanted to read some scripture to you because, change is painful. Change is rough. It can make you nervous. It can make you retreat. But I want to read some scripture to you. Hebrews 10:23 says, let's hold tightly without wavering to the hope we affirm, for God can be trusted to keep his promise. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. God can be trusted. There's nothing that is going to change that. He is always faithful. So we can focus inward. Why is this happening? How come I'm so discouraged? Why did my health fail? Why did their health fail? Why did our finances fail? Why did my relationship fail? We can focus inward, or we can do what the scripture says and focus upward and outward. So we focus upward when we recognize God never fails. And we focus outward when we realize we need to be looking at what other people need. One of the things 11 years ago that God said to me, Melody, this isn't about you. This cancer, this stage 4 cancer that when you read on the internet, doesn't look very good. And 2 times around, it looks worse. But 11 years ago, he said, Melody, this isn't about you. This is about the people that I'm going to bring into your life, because you'll be in the hospital so much that you would never meet these people had it not been for you having a stage 4 cancer that required lots of attention. And so then and now we've been able to pray for my nurses and techs that come into my room, and smile at them and make sure that they're having a great day, and letting God speak through me and Phil so that they look forward to coming back in my room again. And then I have an opportunity to tell them about Jesus. At the end of Hebrews 10, it says, "So do not throw away this confident trust in the Lord. Remember the great reward it brings you. Patient endurance is what you need now, so you will continue to do God's will. Then you will receive all He has promised." That is a great verse to remember. And honestly, I'm going to just say, I'm going to speak to somebody there. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know, maybe if you've walked in this building and you thought, why did it even show up? I don't believe what anybody's saying. I'm going to put a smile on my face, but they're not going to know my pain, because they wouldn't understand my pain. Listen, I've been there. There was a time years and years ago in my life where I thought, when I went to church, I was in such a low place. I thought the testimonies that people tell aren't real. That they just think good things are happening because it was a coincidence. And I just thought, I'm just going to go to church and I'm going to just pretend like everybody else has pretended. And then God, He didn't give up on me. He continued to work with me, and He made me sure that God is real and that He can be trusted. So that when I got to the place with stage 4 cancer 11 years ago, and then again now, when I got to that place, I may have some down days, but I never forget who God is. And that's because I've walked with Him year after year. So if you're here in a season of life and you are so frustrated, you are hiding the pain, I pray that you will pour out your lament to God and tell Him exactly how you feel. And then rely on your sisters around you to encourage you and to lift you up and to pray for you. Because God hasn't given up on you, and I don't want you to give up on God. There's another verse that I want to read to you. It's Hebrews 12, 1 and 2. Yeah, this is right after the writer of Hebrews is going through talking about all of the saints of old and the faith that they had and how they were heroes in trusting God. And so he says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up. And let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting Him, He endured the cross, disregarding its shame. And now He is seated in the place of honor beside God's throne." Run the race, my friends. You'll be glad you did. Put one foot in front of the other and just say, I may not feel like trusting you today, but I'm going to do my best to trust you today. I think it will be an example to your family who needs to know that Jesus is real, to your neighbors who needs to know that Jesus is real in this crazy world, and it's going to strengthen your faith. So I wish I could be there with you. I know you guys are going to have a lot of fun. Cindy has been so amazing. She has just become one of my very best friends. I love talking to her, and I know you do too. Listen, I've seen her diligence and her creativity. You're so lucky to have her. Listen, I don't use the word genius very often. I just thought I'd mention that. Anyway, Cindy, thanks again for letting me give a little bit of my testimony, and I'm going to be praying for you guys this weekend, and I look forward to seeing you soon.